What's going on, guys? The RC Color King here. Long time no see, eh? I apologize, you guys. It's been a hot minute since I've shot anything for the channel last, and it's simply just because the radio control hobby has gotten a lot more expensive over the last few years due to inflation, and I've been getting pulled aside for a lot more commercial work in regards to filming stuff with my drones and also my professional cameras. People started to see my work on my YouTube channel here with the RC stuff, and it really carried over into a more professional line of work that I never really thought I'd get into. But with that being said, I've really been lusting to get back into filming some of the RC stuff again, and I figured what better time to do so than while I'm here in Honolulu, Hawaii. And because with all the professional work I've been doing, I've been using drones a lot in that line of work. Now, with the rare opportunity I've been given from my great friend Rudolph, who let me borrow his drone while I'm here. I know, right? Amazing. Just lent me his DJI Mini 4 Pro to try out while I was here and see what it was like. Now, I already had the chance to fly this back home before I came here, and I was blown away by how good the drone was. And it made me a little curious. I was thinking, would this be a drone to use for something professional? Now, in the time that I've spent pulled away from the RC hobby, I've been using drones a lot in my commercial work. That's really the only hobby product I've touched as of lately. For that reason, I figured what better time than to do a comparison of the DJI Mini 4 Pro versus my current professional drone I use. For that reason, I figured we'd better do a quick comparison on a DJI Mini 4 Pro and an Autel Evo 1st Gen for commercial work, professional use. Five years separate the two drones, and while I've only been working with the Autel Evo for about 3, I've been on a lot of different professional shoots that use DJI drones that are much bigger than this. Now, one of the areas that my ancient Autel Evo excels at is being able to get up in the air quick in restricted areas like airports where we're wanting to shoot. With these DJI drones, you are really required to get pre-authorization not only with a SFOC, but you also need to get approval through the DJI app on the drone before you can take off there. The DJI drones simply require an extra step of authorization to be done through the DJI app before you can take off. And on a professional shoot, when you've got actors and other talent waiting for the shot to take place, it can become kind of a hassle. Now, you can do it in advance with a DJI drone, and it will allow you that area for up to 3 days of authorized flight. But with my Autel, it's just not something I gotta worry about. I'm a fully licensed pilot, so needing to go through the extra hurdles of asking DJI for additional approval just seems like a bunch of extra red tape to me. Secondly, the Autel beats the Mini in being able to be visible at night. The DJI Mini 4 only has the LED lights on the back 2 arms, whereas with the Autel Evo, they're located on all 4 corners. I found this to be a bit tricky upon landing at night with the Mini, as you couldn't quite get a reference for which heading the aircraft was facing when you were flying at 3rd person at night. What truly blows my mind, though, is that a 5-year difference in technology allows this 249-gram drone to outperform my 862-gram Autel Evo in many other categories. It takes the win in pretty much every category, including autonomous flight, battery life, range, and portability. More on what makes the DJI Mini 4 Pro an amazing drone later in this video. Next up, let's get into what makes the DJI Mini 4 Pro such an amazing piece of kit. My first flight with the DJI Mini 4 Pro was nothing short of mind-blowing. In every way, this tiny little drone handled just like my Autel Evo. I was really expecting it to get blown around by the wind or lack some kind of stability in the shots I was taking. But as you can see here, the footage this tiny little drone captures is pretty comparable to what my larger Autel Evo drone does. Now, that gap starts to widen a lot more when it comes to nighttime footage, as the DJI Mini 4 Pro is using a lot of software-based features to enhance the nighttime video quality. Both drones are using a very similar size camera sensor, so the image quality difference is really just all software-based. Now, the night mode on the DJI Mini 4 Pro simply increases the camera's sensor sensitivity by increasing the ISO. It also uses intelligent noise reduction applied directly to the video clip as it's rendered. Now, all those software-based things are something that we can do in post-production with noise reduction tools found in DaVinci Resolve, but the DJI Mini 4 Pro speeds up post-production by already taking care of all of that for us. Now, in terms of raw video specs, the Mini 4 Pro comes on top because it includes 10-bit video. This gives my video editor a leading edge when it comes to color grading the footage, as it gives them more flexibility in post to match to different cameras that we might be using on a shoot. Now, 4K is standard on both of these drones. However, the DJI Mini 4 Pro can shoot up to 100 frames per second in 4K. The Autel Evo is capped at 60 frames per second. With that 100 frames per second in 4K, you're gonna be able to capture some crispy, ultra smooth footage from the drone. As a solo filmmaker, on a lot of my own projects, I end up having to film myself like I am right now for you guys in this video. Now, this little drone has a Swiss Army knife hidden in it, and it's the fact that this thing can fly itself to capture the shots I need without hiring an additional pilot. The fact that the drone is able to fly itself and track subjects is a real Swiss Army knife when it comes to solo filmmaking. I don't have to go searching to hire a second pilot to capture the shots that I need, saving a ton of money for myself filmmaking and also time on professional shoots with more complex shots. The Autel Evo struggles here greatly and lacked a variety of different subject-based tracking shots. The DJI Mini 4 Pro is able to fully avoid obstacles in a 360-degree radius around the drone thanks to these obstacle detecting cameras located on all sides of the drone. And these cameras can be used as a sort of backup camera while making certain cinematic movements that otherwise you would be doing blind. A nifty little pop-up appears in the bottom left corner when making certain movements to the left, the right, backward, or forward. This is extremely handy when the main camera is not focused on where the drone is headed. This gives you the extra rest assurance that you're not going to run into anything while making the best shot possible. Now, the Mini 4 Pro's object detection is much more robust compared to the Autel Evos because it's actually able to detect what the subject is, whether that be a person or a car. It's able to keep track of the subject even if it changes direction, which is something that the Autel Evo struggled with greatly. Now, that massive gap in technology of the drone being able to actually detect what the subject is rather than just tracking based off of a high contrast point on the subject is a difference between the drone completely losing focus on the subject and it being able to lock on and maintain focus of that subject no matter what orientation it's in. Now, another nifty little feature of the DJI Mini 4 Pro is the included LED light on the bottom of the drone. Now, this mainly serves to function as a lighting assistant when landing at night for the autonomous self-landing features. However, you can assign it to a custom function button on the controller, and it can be used to light your subjects during a photo shoot. Now, in a professional setting, you could also use this light on the bottom of the drone to do light painting or to illuminate subjects in your frame. Now, another big feature of the DJI products is the ease of entry and just how simple these drones are to use. Not only that, but DJI includes all of the instructions and tutorials built right into the controller for the user to access. That's so neat. No more needing to read a paperback novel to learn how to work your drone. Now, for my day-to-day use of this drone, the only real negative that I've been able to find is the fact that the drone overheats if it's not up in the air. The Autel Evo features a built-in active cooling fan to help keep it cool when it's not in the air. I think the main reason we both know DJI had to do this is to keep this drone under 250 grams. And if you're not aware of why 250 grams is such an important number, it's the maximum allowed weight before you need to register your drone to be able to fly it. Not needing to register this drone before a shoot makes it that much better of a choice when it comes to ease of access for a professional shoot. With social media marketing and short form content becoming such a massive popularity in recent times, the ability to shoot in a vertical format with this drone makes this such an ideal choice for those type of videos. Not only does that mean we're gonna be able to use the entire image sensor, but we're also gonna be able to use all of the resolution in the final render. Now, to circle back on portability for a second, I think that's a huge factor when it comes to being able to bring equipment with you on every shoot. The DJI Mini 4 Pro is extremely easy to unpack and set up and get in the air. However, I think DJI would have really hit the nail on the head if they had used the same controller from their more cheaper models on this drone as well. Not having an Android phone built into the controller would not only make this thing significantly cheaper, but it would also greatly improve portability. This is the one reason that I haven't picked one up myself yet, as I'm waiting to see if DJI improves upon that portability aspect any further in future models. Another nifty little feature of this drone is the ability to be able to tilt the camera upward. This unlocks a whole new plethora of ideas when it comes to shot lists that are possible come production day. Now, to wrap things up is one last feature that certainly could have been added to other drones, but it is included with this DJI Mini 4 Pro, and that is the overlaid Homepoint inside the video feed. You no longer need to switch back to the mini map to regain your heading home. All of these features of the DJI Mini 4 Pro make it a serious option when it comes to professional filmmaking. Equipment doesn't need to be big or expensive when it comes to getting the job done. And I think the DJI Mini 4 Pro certainly proves that. If you guys like this video, if you want to see more content from me, let me know in the comments down below, you guys. As always, don't forget to be fancy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.